The paradox of the self-made man. You think you know Arnold Schwarzenegger, the bodybuilder who conquered the world, the movie star who redefined action, the governor who led a state. A titan, forged by his own will, a pure embodiment of relentless ambition, the ultimate self-made man. Right? But then he stands before an audience at the University of Houston commencement address in 2017 and delivers a statement that shatters that carefully constructed image. He looks out, unwavering, and declares, "Don't ever call me a self-made man." Imagine the silence, the collective pause. For a man whose legend is built on sheer, uncompromising will, these words are a direct challenge to the narrative we've all been sold, the one he himself seemed to embody so completely. He wasn't being falsely humble. He was articulating a profound truth, a core tenet of his philosophy, which, when understood, can fundamentally reshape our own understanding of success, resilience, and contribution. Why such a strong stance? Because, as he went on to explain in that same powerful address, to accept that credit or that mantle would discount every single person that has helped me to get here today, that gave me advice, that made an effort, that gave me the time, that lifted me up when I fell. Think about that. The man who conquered Olympus, who built an empire of muscle, celluloid, and policy, insists that his towering achievements are a monument to collective effort, not solitary genius. This isn't just about acknowledging help. This is about a philosophical pivot. It's about recognizing that the lone wolf narrative, while perhaps appealing to our individualistic spirit, is often a myth, and a dangerous one at that. Arnold, with his almost mythical drive, reveals a deeper wisdom. That true strength, true achievement, is woven into the fabric of community. It's about understanding that our journeys are inextricably linked to others. As he beautifully articulated in his recent book, Be Useful, 7 Tools for Life. One thing you learn when you've lived long enough and worked hard enough to see your wildest dreams come true is that we're all connected. We're all in this thing called life together. As long as you make giving back part of the rules of the game. This is the paradox we're invited to explore today. The man who embodies individual more than almost anyone, yet who fiercely rejects the notion of being self-made. He's not just talking about mentors or financial backers. He's talking about the countless unsung heroes, the training partners, the dialect coaches, the political strategists, the fans who bought tickets, the citizens who cast votes, each a crucial brick in the colossal edifice of Arnold's life. His approach wasn't to wait for a ladder. It was, as he put it during an interview on Tim Ferriss's podcast, discussing Be Useful to build your own ladder. Just don't wait for anyone else. That's what I did. But even that personal construction, he insists, happens with the material and support systems others provide. It's a subtle, yet profound distinction. You have to put in the work, but you are not doing it in a vacuum. This perspective is a radical call to humility and interconnectedness. It shifts the focus from purely personal gain to collective uplift. It challenges you to consider your own journey, not as a solitary climb, but as a shared expedition. He urges us, in another powerful concept from Be Useful, to break your mirrors, to stop focusing exclusively on ourselves, and instead to turn our attention to the needs of others, to make a meaningful impact beyond our own reflection. His early life was a testament to a singular, relentless drive. From a small Austrian village, he envisioned himself as Mr. Universe, then a movie star, then a political leader. He saw it, he believed it, and he pursued it with an almost terrifying intensity. As he often stated, and documented in his autobiography, Total Recall, if I can see it and believe it, then I can achieve it. But what he now emphasizes is that this vision, this belief, this achievement was amplified and made possible by a vast network of support, visible and invisible. This is the unexpected wisdom from a man known more for brawn than for philosophical nuance. It's the revelation that beneath the layers of muscle, fame, and political power lies a profound understanding of gratitude, responsibility, and the communal nature of success. It's about his unwavering belief that as he advises, and as you move up and become successful, make sure also to be hungry for helping others. This isn't just a suggestion. It's a mandate for a life well lived. So, what can we learn from a man who mastered the art of physical transformation, navigated the complexities of Hollywood, and tackled the immense challenges of governing a state, only to tell us he didn't do it alone? We learn that ambition and community are not mutually exclusive. We learn that true strength is found not just in individual effort, but in the acknowledgement and cultivation of our shared humanity. We learn that his enduring legacy will be defined not only by what he achieved, but by how he acknowledged the we that made it all possible. In the coming moments, we will delve deeper into the specific principles that guided Arnold Schwarzenegger's incredible journey: the discipline, the unwavering vision, the embrace of struggle, and the ultimate commitment to usefulness and giving back. Principles that, when applied, can transform your own path from a solitary trek into a powerful, connected ascent. Prepare to challenge your assumptions, and perhaps redefine your own definition of what it means to be truly made. Chapter 1. The Blueprint: Engineering an Unwavering Vision. In the coming moments, we will delve deeper into the specific principles that guided Arnold Schwarzenegger's incredible journey: the discipline, the unwavering vision, the embrace of struggle, and the ultimate commitment to usefulness and giving back. Principles that, when applied, can transform your own path from a solitary trek into a powerful, connected ascent. Prepare to challenge your assumptions, and perhaps redefine your own definition of what it means to be truly made. We stand at the threshold of a profound truth, revealed not by abstract theory, but by a life lived on an impossible scale. For Arnold Schwarzenegger, before the titles, the fame, the power, there was simply a picture, a mental blueprint drawn with the unwavering conviction of an architect designing a masterpiece. This wasn't merely wishful thinking. It was a foundational belief system, meticulously crafted and relentlessly pursued. From the humble streets of Thal, Austria, a young Arnold didn't just dream of escaping. He visualized a destiny so vivid, so detailed, it might as well have been a memory. He saw himself as Mr. Universe, not just winning, but the exact muscle striations, the crowd's roar, the trophy's weight in his hands. He then saw himself as a leading man in Hollywood, his accent no longer a hindrance but a signature. And later, he envisioned leading the very state that had welcomed him. This was not a series of lucky breaks. It was a deliberate orchestration of intent, rooted in a powerful maxim he would repeat throughout his life: if I can see it and believe it, then I can achieve it. This wasn't a platitude for Arnold. It was a fundamental law of his universe. He didn't wait for opportunities to knock. He drew a clear target on the door and then built the battering ram to get through it. He understood that clarity of purpose isn't just a motivational poster. It's a practical, actionable guide. As he eloquently articulated in his book, Be Useful, 7 Tools for Life, everything good, all great change, starts with a clear vision. This isn't just about personal ambition. It's the spark for every significant movement, every innovation, every leap forward in human history. Without that initial, precise image of what could be, what should be, action remains scattered, hesitant, and ultimately ineffective. Think about that for a moment. What is the picture you hold for your own future? Is it hazy, filled with maybes and somedays? Or is it sharp, detailed, almost tangible? For Arnold, this distinction was everything. He believed that the only true difference between those who achieve the extraordinary and those who remain in the realm of the ordinary lies not in talent or opportunity, but in this singular capacity. As he laid out in Be Useful, the only difference between them and us, between me and you, between any two people, is the clarity of the picture we have for our future, the strength of our plan to get there, and whether or not we have accepted that the choice to make that vision a reality is ours and ours alone. This is a profound challenge to our complacency, a direct call to reclaim ownership of our potential. Why settle for less when the canvas of your life is waiting? Arnold himself pondered, in his autobiography, Total Recall, what is the point of being on this earth if you are going to be like everyone else? For him, life was not merely about existence, but about expansion. He famously declared, the meaning of life is not simply to exist, to survive, but to move ahead, to go up, to achieve, to conquer. This relentless hunger for upward momentum, for continuous growth, was fueled by an ever-evolving, yet always distinct, vision of what was next. His method was simple, yet revolutionary. He didn't just visualize a vague outcome. He reverse-engineered the journey. He saw the finished product, whether it was the Mr. Universe title or the governor's office. And then he asked, asterisk, what steps must I take today to make that vision real? Asterisk, in Be Useful, he clarifies, you have to be able to see what you want to achieve before you do it, not as you do it. That's the difference. This isn't passive dreaming. It's active precognition, a practical exercise in strategic foresight. He used this mental blueprint to guide every rep in the gym, every line learned for an acting class, every minute spent studying business and economics. In his seminal work, Arnold, The Education of a Bodybuilder, he revealed, I taught myself discipline, the strictest kind of discipline, how to be totally in control of my body, how to control each individual muscle. I could apply that discipline to everyday life. And the source of that discipline? Remembering what it took to be Mr. Universe, the sacrifice, the hard work, and I would plunge myself into studying. The vision became the fuel for the grind. This unwavering clarity also fostered a fierce independence. As he shared in an interview on Tim Ferriss's podcast, discussing Be Useful, he lived by the principle, build your own ladder. Just don't wait for anyone else. That's what I did. He understood that while others might offer tools or support, the design of the ladder and the will to climb it were solely his responsibility. So, what picture are you creating for yourself today? Are you painting it with bold strokes? Or are you letting the colors bleed into a murky mess? Arnold Schwarzenegger's first chapter reminds us that your future is not a predetermined destination, but a construct of your own making. It is a masterpiece waiting to be engineered, one clear vision at a time. The powerful truth is this: the future depends on what you do today, and what you see in your mind's eye sets the course for every action that follows. What will you choose to see? Chapter 2, The 18-Hour Advantage. Mastering time, not finding it. We've all heard it. We've probably all said it. I just don't have enough time. It's the universal lament, the default excuse for aspirations left unpursued, for health goals unmet, for knowledge unacquired. We convince ourselves that life's demands are simply too great, that our waking hours are too few, and that the path to greatness is reserved for those blessed with an abundance of free minutes. But what if that perspective is fundamentally flawed? What if the problem isn't a lack of time, but a lack of will to make it? For Arnold Schwarzenegger, this common refrain is not just an excuse, it's an absurdity. He famously shattered this illusion with a dose of brutal, undeniable logic during his USC commencement address, a philosophy he's repeated countless times. He'd look you dead in the eye and declare, the day is 24 hours. 6 hours we sleep, so you have left 18 hours. So don't ever give me this thing, I'm working 12 hours, so I don't have time to exercise and to work out. Or, I don't have time to study another language, and all these kind of things. 18 hours. So utilize the 18 hours. That's what I've always believed in. And I feel like that's the only way you can get ahead. This isn't just a catchy soundbite. It's the cornerstone of Arnold's relentless productivity. He never saw time as something to be found, like a lost coin under the sofa. For Arnold, time was a raw material, a finite resource to be sculpted, leveraged, and relentlessly exploited for maximum output. While others were waiting for the perfect moment or complaining about their schedule, Arnold was building an empire, brick by precious minute. Consider his early years in America. It wasn't a leisurely stroll to stardom. He was simultaneously pursuing an ambitious bodybuilding career, attending college to study business and English, working in construction to pay the bills, and taking acting classes to hone his craft. Think about that for a moment. Competitive bodybuilding demands hours in the gym, precise nutrition, and absolute dedication. College requires study and attendance. Construction is physically grueling and takes up a full workday. And acting classes involve memorization, practice, and travel. Most people would find one of these pursuits overwhelming. Arnold embraced all four, weaving them into an intricate tapestry of relentless daily effort. How did he do it? It was a profound transfer of discipline. As he detailed in his seminal work, Arnold, The Education of a Bodybuilder, he taught myself discipline, the strictest kind of discipline. How to be totally in control of my body, how to control each individual muscle. Crucially, he learned to apply that same rigorous control to every other facet of his life. He recounted, I used it in acting, in going to school. Whenever I didn't want to study, I would just think back and remember what it took to be Mr. Universe, the sacrifice, the hard work, and I would plunge myself into studying. His physical discipline became a mental superpower, a template for conquering any challenge. There were no shortcuts in Arnold's world. As he shared in his autobiography, Total Recall, My Unbelievably True Life Story, he understood that everything is reps, reps, reps. Whether it was lifting weights, studying economics, or practicing lines, success came from consistent, repeated effort. It meant embracing what he later articulated in Be Useful, 7 Tools for Life as the boring stuff. He advised, this is where we need to get to. This is what we have to do. We have to embrace the boring stuff. We have to nail the fundamentals. We have to do them right, and we have to do them often. It's in the mundane, the repetitive, the unglamorous daily grind that true mastery is forged. He didn't just advocate for hard work. He lived it, fiercely and unapologetically. During an interview on Tim Ferriss's podcast, discussing Be Useful, Arnold dismissed any notion of laziness as a path to progress, stating emphatically, no country ever was built by people sleeping in. Austria was not built by people sleeping in. America was not built by people sleeping in. People struggled, people suffered, people worked their asses off to build this country. This isn't just about patriotism. It's a foundational belief that meaningful achievement is inextricably linked to relentless labor. As he also puts it in Be Useful, working your ass off is the only thing that works 100% of the time for 100% of the things worth achieving. If you believe that success is a lottery ticket, Arnold will quickly disabuse you of that notion. In his iconic USC commencement speech, he declared, success is not a lottery ticket, it's a grind. It's about showing up every single day, putting in the work. Even when it's hard, embrace the grind, push yourself beyond your comfort zone, and outwork everyone in the room. The harder you work, the luckier you get. It's a stark, simple truth. If you don't find the time, if you don't do the work, you don't get the results. The 18 hours are a gift, a blank canvas awaiting your brushstrokes of effort. So the next time you hear yourself, or anyone else, utter the phrase, I don't have time, remember Arnold's 18-hour advantage. He's not asking you to become a bodybuilder, or a movie star, or a governor. He's challenging you to reclaim your agency, to shed the comfortable cloak of excuses, and to look at those 18 waking hours as an ocean of potential. What dreams are you letting drown in the shallow waters of no time? What skills are waiting to be honed? What impact are you delaying? Your life is not a spectator sport, and your dreams are not destined to wither in the arid landscape of unmet potential. Like Arnold, you possess the power to make time, to impose discipline, and to transform your aspirations into reality through sheer, unadulterated effort. The question isn't whether you have enough time. The question is, what will you choose to do with the 18 hours you already have? Chapter 3. The Grind. No shortcuts, only reps, reps, reps. We often seek the grand revelation, the sudden spark of genius that catapults us to success. We crave the shortcut, the magic pill, the one secret ingredient that will unlock our potential. But if you're looking for easy answers, you haven't been listening to Arnold Schwarzenegger. Because for him, the truth about achievement is far more direct, far more demanding, and ultimately far more empowering. Welcome back to What Would They Do? And to Chapter 3, The Grind. No shortcuts. Only reps, reps, reps. This is where we confront the unvarnished reality that underpins every single one of Arnold's extraordinary triumphs, from the Mr. Olympia stage to the governor's mansion. It's a philosophy distilled into a brutal, beautiful simplicity, working your ass off. As he so succinctly puts it in his book, Be Useful, 7 Tools for Life. Working your ass off is the only thing that works 100% of the time for 100% of the things worth achieving. There's no ambiguity there, no room for debate. It's an absolute, unwavering declaration. If you want something, truly want it, you earn it through effort. Arnold doesn't just preach this, he lives it. He famously states in his autobiography, Total Recall, my unbelievably true life story, that there are no shortcuts, everything is reps, reps, reps. Think about that for a moment. Not just in the gym, but in every domain of life. Learning a skill? Reps, reps, reps. Building a business? Reps, reps, reps. Cultivating a relationship? Reps, reps, reps. It's the consistent, often monotonous application of effort that compounds over time into mastery. It's the unwavering commitment to showing up day in and day out, even when the inspiration wanes, even when the results are slow to appear. This commitment to the repetitive, to the foundational, is what separates the extraordinary from the average. Arnold doesn't just tolerate the boring stuff. He believes you must embrace it. In Be Useful, he challenges us directly. This is where we need to get to. This is what we have to do. We have to embrace the boring stuff. We have to nail the fundamentals. We have to do them right, and we have to do them often. The glamour never lies in the squat rack, but in the physique it builds. The thrill isn't in memorizing lines, but in the performance it enables. The excitement isn't in balancing ledgers, but in the empire it secures. The boring stuff is the bedrock upon which all grandeur stands. Without it, everything collapses. This belief in relentless effort was forged early in his life. In Arnold, the education of a bodybuilder, he revealed, I taught myself discipline, the strictest kind of discipline. How to be totally in control of my body, how to control each individual muscle. I could apply that discipline to everyday life. He understood that the mental fortitude required to sculpt his physique could be transferred to studying, to acting, to business ventures. It was about creating an internal locus of control where his actions dictated his destiny, not external circumstances. We've already heard Arnold remind us that the day offers 18 waking hours, a vast expanse for creation and conquest, if only we choose to seize it. He has no patience for the excuse of no time. As he emphatically states, if you don't find the time, if you don't do the work, you don't get the results. It's a stark, simple equation. The hours are there. What you choose to do with them defines you. For Arnold, it was never a question of finding time. It was about making time, imposing his will on the clock, and carving out the space for the essential work. He even admits, I'm addicted to exercising, and I have to do something every day. It's not just a habit. It's a non-negotiable part of his existence, a testament to the power of consistent action. This isn't just about personal gain. It's fundamental to all progress. Speaking on Tim Ferriss's podcast about his book, Be Useful, Arnold reminded us that No country ever was built by people sleeping in. Austria was not built by people sleeping in. America was not built by people sleeping in. People struggled, people suffered, people worked their asses off to build this country. He invokes the collective struggle, the shared grind that elevates nations. Your own personal journey, he implies, is no different. You cannot build your empire by hitting snooze. In his USC commencement speech, he summed up this philosophy, declaring, "Success is not a lottery ticket. It's a grind. It's about showing up every single day, putting in the work. Even when it's hard, embrace the grind, push yourself beyond your comfort zone, and outwork everyone in the room. The harder you work, the luckier you get." Notice that last part. The harder you work, the luckier you get. This isn't a passive hope for good fortune. It's an active creation of opportunity. Your relentless reps create the conditions for success to appear, often disguised as luck. So, what does this mean for you, the listener, navigating your own ambitions? It means rejecting the illusion of instant gratification. It means embracing the sweat, the struggle, the quiet, disciplined moments that no one applauds. It means looking at your daily tasks, no matter how mundane, as opportunities for reps. Are you doing them right? Are you doing them often? Are you nailing the fundamentals? Arnold's philosophy is a call to action for the unglamorous. It's a celebration of the consistent effort that underpins all extraordinary achievement. Your life, your dreams, your potential, they are not built by hope, but by repetition. By showing up, by working your ass off. There are no shortcuts, only reps, reps, reps. What are you waiting for? Start your reps. Chapter 4. The Discipline of the Iron Will, Controlling Body and Mind. The mind, it's a powerful engine, capable of propelling us to unimaginable heights. Yet, it's also a treacherous landscape, often whispering doubts, urging surrender, long before our physical selves are truly spent. Arnold Schwarzenegger, a man who consistently pushed the boundaries of human achievement, understood this fundamental truth deeply. The mind always fails first, not the body, he once declared. The secret is to make your mind work for you, not against you. This wasn't just a casual observation. It was the bedrock of his transformative life, the principle that allowed him to forge an iron will. Arnold didn't inherit discipline. He forged it, meticulously, rep by painful rep. He described it as a self-taught, strictest kind of discipline. Imagine the young Austrian oak standing before a mirror, meticulously isolating each bicep peak, each tricep head. He wasn't just moving weight. He was commanding his physiology. How to be totally in control of my body, how to control each individual muscle, he recounted in his book, Arnold, The Education of a Bodybuilder. This wasn't merely about sculpting a physique. It was about mastering his internal world, proving to himself that his will was absolute. But the real magic wasn't just in the gym. Arnold took that same unwavering mental fortitude and applied it to every facet of his life. He didn't compartmentalize discipline. He weaponized it. In that same revealing autobiography, he explained, I could apply that discipline to everyday life. I used it in acting, in going to school. Whenever I didn't want to study, I would just think back and remember what it took to be Mr. Universe, the sacrifice, the hard work, and I would plunge myself into studying. This is a profound insight. He leveraged past victories, the sheer, brutal effort of becoming the best in the world, to conquer the mundane, the tedious, the unglamorous. He made the memory of his ultimate physical triumph a mental trigger for academic and artistic focus. For Arnold, there was no room for excuses, especially not the most common one, time. He famously broke it down during his USC commencement address. The day is 24 hours. 6 hours we sleep, so you have left 18 hours. So don't ever give me this thing, I'm working 12 hours, so I don't have time to exercise and to work out. Or, I don't have time to study another language, and all these kind of things. 18 hours. So utilize the 18 hours. That's what I've always believed in. And I feel like that's the only way you can get ahead. He saw time not as a limitation, but as an expansive canvas, demanding every stroke of effort. He wasn't just working hard. He was working smart, constantly reminding himself that if you don't find the time, if you don't do the work, you don't get the results. This wasn't about flashy moves or overnight successes. As he reflected in total recall, my unbelievably true life story, there are no shortcuts. Everything is reps. Reps, reps. It's about the consistent, often boring stuff. As he articulated in Be Useful, 7 Tools for Life. We have to embrace it, he insisted. We have to nail the fundamentals. We have to do them right, and we have to do them often. This is the discipline of showing up, even when the motivation wanes, even when the path feels long. It's the addiction to motion, to progress. I'm addicted to exercising, and I have to do something every day, he admitted, highlighting the power of ingrained habit. He understood that growth doesn't happen in comfort. On Tim Ferriss's podcast, discussing his book, Be Useful, he cut right to it. Through comfort, no one ever grows. The mind, left unchecked, seeks comfort, seeks ease. Arnold's discipline was a constant push against that natural inclination, forcing the body and mind to adapt, to strengthen under duress. It's about making the choice, every single day, to show up. As he powerfully stated at another USC commencement speech, success is not a lottery ticket. It's a grind. It's about showing up every single day, putting in the work. Even when it's hard, embrace the grind, push yourself beyond your comfort zone, and outwork everyone in the room. The harder you work, the luckier you get. This isn't just a philosophy for bodybuilders or politicians. It's a blueprint for any life worth living fully. It asks you to confront your own mental limits, to recognize when your mind is attempting to betray your body's true capacity. Can you, like Arnold, leverage the memory of your past efforts to ignite current action? Can you look at the 18 waking hours of your day and see endless opportunities for growth rather than constraints? Can you embrace the repetitive, fundamental work that often feels unrewarding in the short term, knowing it builds an unstoppable momentum? Arnold's strictest kind of discipline is an invitation to transform your relationship with effort itself. It's about shifting from viewing discipline as a chore to seeing it as the ultimate act of self-empowerment. It is making your mind your most powerful ally, training it to push past perceived limitations, and understanding that true strength begins not in the muscle, but in the unwavering command of your will. This is how you don't just achieve your dreams. This is how you become the architect of an unbreakable spirit. Chapter 5. Failure as Fuel. Getting up every single time. Now, let's talk about the inevitable companion on that journey, failure. It's a word that chills many, a specter that haunts ambition. But for Arnold Schwarzenegger, failure isn't a final verdict. It's just another rep in the gym of life. His philosophy offers a radical reframe. The problem isn't failing, it's asterisk staying down asterisk. In his renowned USC commencement address, Arnold issued a challenge to every aspiring dream chaser. He declared, "Don't be afraid to fail. Anything that I've ever attempted, I was always willing to fail. You can't always win, but don't be afraid of making decisions." Think about that for a moment. Not just permission to fail, but an active encouragement to embrace the risk, to make the decisive move even if the outcome is uncertain. This isn't recklessness. It's a deep understanding that inaction is the only true failure. The fear of getting it wrong can paralyze us, keeping us stuck in the realm of what-ifs, far from the arena where real growth happens. Arnold dismantles this paralysis by showing us that the path to triumph is littered with stumbles. Indeed, he clarified this perspective further in his USC commencement speech, stating plainly that failure is not the opposite of success. It's a stepping stone. Imagine that. Each misstep, each setback, each grand plan that crumbles isn't a dead end. It's not a signal to retreat. Instead, It's a necessary foundational block upon which the next, stronger attempt will be built. Every broken lift, every lost election, every film that didn't quite hit, served as raw material for his next evolution. It was information, feedback, fuel. But here's the critical distinction, the separating line between those who ultimately achieve and those who merely watch. What happens asterisk after asterisk the fall? Arnold has spoken extensively on this, distilling it into an undeniable truth in various motivational speeches. He says, "What is not okay is that when you fail, you stay down. Whoever stays down is a loser. And winners will fail, and get up, fail, and get up, fail, and get up. You always get up. That is a winner. That is a winner." This isn't about harsh judgment. It's about a fundamental choice. The act of failing is human, inevitable. The act of asterisk staying down asterisk is a surrender, a choice that robs you of your potential. Consider your own life. How many times have you faced a setback and allowed it to define you, to halt your progress indefinitely? Arnold's message cuts through that defeatism with the clarity of a sharp blade. A winner isn't someone who never fails. A winner is someone who fails, learns, then asterisk, always asterisk, gets back up. It's in that relentless cycle of falling and rising that true resilience is forged. This concept, for Arnold, isn't just theoretical. It's deeply ingrained in his very being, born from his bodybuilding days. In his autobiography, Total Recall, and later reinforced in Be Useful, he reflected, "Just like in bodybuilding, failure is also a necessary experience for growth in our own lives. For if we're never tested to our limits, how will we know how strong we really are? How will we ever grow?" Think of a bodybuilder pushing a heavy weight to muscular failure. That failure isn't a sign of weakness. It's the precise moment when the muscle fiber breaks down, ready to rebuild itself stronger than before. Without that failure, there is no growth. Without pushing past comfort, there is no evolution. He understands that the path of least resistance leads nowhere interesting. As he puts it in his book, Be Useful, it's the struggle that makes success, when you achieve it, taste so sweet. The ease of victory leaves no lasting imprint. It's the sweat, the pain, the doubt, the repeated attempts after multiple failures. Asterisk, that's asterisk, what imbues achievement with profound meaning and satisfaction. It's why he famously proclaimed in Be Useful, "I don't compromise." There is no plan B. Plan B is to succeed at plan A. This isn't blind optimism. It's an unshakable commitment that removes the option of retreat. When the only way out is through, your mind and body find a way. The past, with its catalog of mistakes and disappointments, can feel like a heavy burden. But Arnold offers a pragmatic way to navigate it. In Total Recall, he noted, "The past can hurt, but the way I see it, you can either run from it or learn from it." This is an invitation to perform an autopsy on your failures, not to dwell in self-pity, but to extract every lesson, every piece of data that can inform your next move. Don't wallow. Analyze. Don't lament. Strategize. And if you find yourself tempted to complain about your current predicament, to blame circumstances or external forces, Arnold has a simple, direct counter. As he shared in Be Useful, don't complain about a situation unless you are prepared to do something about it. This is a call to action, a demand for accountability. Complaining is passive. Problem-solving is active. The winner's mentality doesn't dwell on what went wrong. It focuses on what asterisk can be done asterisk to make it right. Ultimately, your ability to embrace failure and keep getting up resides in your mind. It's not about brute physical strength alone. It's about mental fortitude. As he has often said, the mind always fails first, not the body. The secret is to make your mind work for you, not against you. Your mind can be your greatest ally or your most insidious saboteur. When faced with a setback, your mind will whisper doubts, suggest quitting, and amplify the pain of the fall. But Arnold's philosophy trains you to recognize those whispers as lies, to reframe failure as data, and to harness your mental power to command your body to rise again. Because, as he discussed on Tim Ferriss's podcast while promoting Be Useful, through comfort, no one ever grows. Growth demands discomfort. Growth demands failure. Growth demands the relentless decision, every single time, to get back up. So, what will you choose? Will you fear the fall, or will you embrace it as the very force that propels you higher? Arnold's life is a masterclass in choosing the latter, proving that the true measure of success isn't never falling, but in always rising. Chapter 6. Beyond Comfort, the Crucible of Growth. We are drawn to comfort, aren't we? It's a primal human instinct to seek ease, to avoid pain, to settle into the familiar rhythms of what's known and safe. We build lives designed to minimize friction, to smooth out the rough edges, to navigate away from anything that might challenge our equilibrium. But what if, in our relentless pursuit of comfort, we are inadvertently sacrificing the very essence of our potential? What if the path of least resistance is actually the longest, most circuitous route to true strength and fulfillment? For Arnold Schwarzenegger, the answer is unequivocally clear. He understands that the soft embrace of comfort is not a reward, but a trap. It's a gilded cage that stifles ambition, dulls the senses, and ultimately prevents us from becoming who we are truly capable of being. As he powerfully declared in a candid conversation with Tim Ferriss, discussing his book, Be Useful, through comfort, no one ever grows. This isn't just a catchy phrase. It's a foundational pillar of Arnold's entire philosophy, forged in the crucible of his own extraordinary life. He learned early on that the path to greatness is paved not with pillows, but with pain, with resistance, with the relentless pressure that shapes raw material into something magnificent. Think about it. A muscle grows only when it's pushed beyond its current capacity, when microscopic tears force it to rebuild stronger. A mind expands only when confronted with new, challenging ideas that stretch its understanding. A spirit soars only when it navigates adversity, learning resilience with every setback. Arnold knows this deeply. He understands that true strength, both physical and mental, is only revealed when we are tested to our limits. It's in these moments, as he reflected in both Total Recall and Be Useful, that we find our true measure. He wrote, "Just like in bodybuilding, failure is also a necessary experience for growth in our own lives. For if we're never tested to our limits, how will we know how strong we really are? How will we ever grow?" It's a profound question, one that challenges us to actively seek out those tests, rather than shy away from them. This acceptance of discomfort extends to every facet of his life. There are no shortcuts. He insists in total recall, stating, "Everything is reps, reps, reps." This philosophy of relentless, repetitive effort, often in the face of exhaustion or boredom, is where growth happens. It's about embracing the boring stuff, as he puts it in Be Useful, nailing the fundamentals, and doing them right and often. It's about showing up every single day, putting in the work, even when it's hard. Because, as he passionately shared in his USC commencement speech, success is not a lottery ticket. It's a grind. It's about showing up every single day, putting in the work. Even when it's hard, embrace the grind, push yourself beyond your comfort zone, and outwork everyone in the room. The harder you work, the luckier you get. And when that work is done, when those limits are pushed, when you face down the discomfort and emerged victorious, that's when success takes on a whole new dimension. It's not just an achievement. It's a profound satisfaction that can only be earned through struggle. In Be Useful, he articulated this feeling perfectly. It's the struggle that makes success. When you achieve it, taste so sweet. That sweetness isn't just about the outcome. It's about the journey, the transformation, the grit required to get there. It's the deep appreciation for having earned every single drop of that triumph. He even extends this principle to the building of nations. On Tim Ferriss's podcast, He reflected on the collective effort. No country ever was built by people sleeping in. Austria was not built by people sleeping in. America was not built by people sleeping in. People struggled. People suffered. People worked their asses off to build this country. This speaks to a universal truth. Significant achievement, whether personal or collective, is always born from effort, from sacrifice, from a willingness to confront and overcome hardship. So, how do we apply this? How do we move beyond comfort and into our own crucible of growth? It starts with a shift in perspective. Instead of viewing discomfort as something to avoid, see it as an invitation. See those moments when your mind whispers doubt, when your body aches, when the task feels overwhelming, as opportunities. Because, as he always reminds us, the mind always fails first, not the body. The secret is to make your mind work for you, not against you. Train your mind to seek out the edge, to lean into the resistance, to recognize that the greatest rewards lie just beyond what feels easy. Embrace the grind. Seek the struggle. Because it is there, in the arena of your own discomfort, that you will not only discover your true strength, but you will also earn a success that tastes sweeter than anything you could ever imagine. What will you do today to step beyond comfort and into your own growth? Chapter 7. The No Plan B Mentality. Total commitment to Plan A. In the relentless pursuit of greatness, many of us hedge our bets. We craft contingencies, develop escape routes, and comfort ourselves with the idea of a fallback. But for a man like Arnold Schwarzenegger, such a mindset isn't just inefficient. It's a direct impediment to true achievement. His philosophy, often repeated, is a stark declaration of total commitment. I don't compromise. There is no Plan B. Plan B is to succeed at Plan A. This isn't just a catchy phrase. It's a psychological blueprint for unlocking extraordinary levels of determination and resourcefulness, a profound understanding of the human will that transformed his life. Think about the sheer power unleashed when the option of retreat simply ceases to exist. When the boats are burned, your entire focus shifts from what if this doesn't work to how will this work? Arnold understood this from his earliest days. He had a clear vision for Plan A, to be a bodybuilding champion, then a movie star, then a political leader. There was no comfortable alternative to fall back on. He wasn't thinking, if bodybuilding fails, I'll just go back to Austria and be a baker. No, his unwavering belief, as he articulated in his autobiography, Total Recall, was, if I can see it and believe it, then I can achieve it. This wasn't naive optimism. It was the foundational conviction for his no-compromise stance. This singular focus demands an almost fanatical dedication to effort. In his book, Be Useful, 7 Tools for Life, Arnold cuts directly to the chase, stating, working your ass off is the only thing that works 100% of the time for 100% of the things worth achieving. There's no room for half measures when Plan A is the only game in town. This means utilizing every available moment. He famously challenged the notion of not having enough time, often repeating in interviews and speeches, including his USC commencement address, that the day is 24 hours. 6 hours we sleep, so you have left 18 hours. So don't ever give me this thing I'm working 12 hours, so I don't have time to exercise and to work out. Or I don't have time to study another language, and all these kind of things. 18 hours. So utilize the 18 hours. That's what I've always believed in. And I feel like that's the only way you can get ahead. When Plan B vanishes, you suddenly find the time. You make the time because the stakes are absolute. The no Plan B mentality also transforms your relationship with failure. Instead of a dead end, failure becomes an integral, even necessary, component of Plan A's success. As he powerfully shared in his USC commencement speech, failure is not the opposite of success. It's a stepping stone. If you have no other option but Plan A, you are forced to learn from every misstep, to adapt, to innovate. Arnold himself, reflecting on his journey in Be Useful, noted, "Just like in bodybuilding, failure is also a necessary experience for growth in our own lives. For if we're never tested to our limits, how will we know how strong we really are? How will we ever grow?" When you commit entirely to Plan A, you don't just tolerate failure. You leverage it, using each setback to refine your approach and deepen your resolve. This isn't about blind stubbornness. It's about an unshakable conviction that your chosen path, your Plan A, is achievable, and that you possess the inner fortitude to navigate any obstacle. It forces you to embrace what he calls the boring stuff, the relentless reps that, as he wrote in Total Recall, constitute the true path to mastery. It compels you to nail the fundamentals and do them right, and often, a core message from Be Useful: when there's no backup, you don't look for shortcuts. You double down on the work, understanding that, as he once stated in a motivational speech, success is not a lottery ticket, it's a grind. It's about showing up every single day, putting in the work. Even when it's hard, embrace the grind, push yourself beyond your comfort zone, and outwork everyone in the room. The harder you work, the luckier you get. So, what does Arnold's no Plan B philosophy mean for your life? It means cultivating a clarity of vision, so potent that it eclipses all distractions. It means staring down the fear of failure, not by avoiding it, but by accepting it as fuel for your journey. It means transforming your relationship with effort, recognizing it not as a burden, but as the only currency that buys success. It's about building an internal furnace of determination, where every setback is thrown in to make your resolve even stronger. By eliminating the comfort of a fallback, you ignite an inner fire that demands creativity, resilience, and an unwavering belief in your capacity to achieve the extraordinary. What is your Plan A, and are you willing to commit to it with the absolute, uncompromising force that leaves no room for anything else? Chapter 8. The Architecture of Habits, Building a Life One Rep at a Time. In the world of Arnold Schwarzenegger, success wasn't stumbled upon. It was built, rep by painstaking rep, within the meticulous architecture of unwavering habits. For him, the gym wasn't a hobby. It was a job, a daily, non-negotiable commitment demanding consistent effort, regardless of mood or fleeting motivation. It was about showing up day in and day out, like a professional punching the clock. He famously rejected the excuse of no time, declaring in his USC commencement address, "The day is 24 hours. 6 hours we sleep, so you have left 18 hours. So don't ever give me this thing, I'm working 12 hours, so I don't have time to exercise and to work out." He saw those 18 waking hours as a vast, fertile canvas for relentless self-improvement, insisting that to utilize the 18 hours, that's what I've always believed in, and I feel like that's the only way you can get ahead. This wasn't just about physical exertion. It was a profound philosophy applied to every facet of his life. As he reflected in his foundational book, Arnold, The Education of a Bodybuilder, he taught myself discipline, the strictest kind of discipline. How to be totally in control of my body, how to control each individual muscle. I could apply that discipline to everyday life. He used the vivid memory of what it took to be Mr. Universe, the sacrifice, the hard work, to propel himself through challenging acting classes or late-night studying sessions when others had given up. This was the absolute, unglamorous commitment to the boring stuff, as he calls it in Be Useful, 7 Tools for Life, the crucial fundamentals, done right and often. Because, as he states emphatically in Total Recall, there are no shortcuts, everything is reps, reps, reps. It's a relentless grind, a daily affirmation that if you don't find the time, if you don't do the work, you don't get the results. This is the core of his habit philosophy. Discipline is not just what you do when you feel like it. It's what you do to make yourself feel like it. It's what you do every single day to the point of addiction. As he has admitted, I'm addicted to exercising, and I have to do something every day. Just as training was his job, food was his fuel. Not a comfort, not an emotional indulgence, but a strategic necessity. Arnold understood that the body is an engine, and for an engine to perform at its peak, it demands precise, high-quality fuel. Every meal, every nutrient, was a calculated input for optimal performance and growth, a deliberate act of powering his ambition, not placating fleeting desires. Your relationship with food, like your relationship with effort, is a habit that can either propel you forward or hold you back. He teaches us to view our plates as an opportunity to build, to strengthen, to energize, rather than to merely consume. And just as crucial as the relentless pursuit of effort was the often overlooked necessity of recovery. Your body, like a high-performance machine, needs downtime. It needs to repair, rebuild, and recharge. Without adequate recovery, growth stalls, progress halts, and the disciplined efforts you pour in become unsustainable. Recovery isn't a luxury. It's a non-negotiable component of sustained evolution. You wouldn't expect your phone to run indefinitely without a charge, nor your body to transform without deep rest and repair. This holistic view of the body as a system, requiring both intense input and deliberate restoration, is fundamental to Arnold's architectural approach to life, a testament to understanding that consistent peak performance is built on a foundation of intelligent maintenance. But Arnold's wisdom extends far beyond the physical grind. More recently, he's delved into the psychological underpinnings of habit formation and sustained motivation, introducing what he calls the ERK principles: autonomy, relatedness, and competency. These aren't abstract theories. They are practical, profound tools for dismantling old, unhelpful habits and fostering new, empowering ones that build the life you envision. First, there is autonomy. This is about reclaiming control, understanding that, as he eloquently states in Be Useful, 7 Tools for Life, the choice to make that vision a reality is ours and ours alone. It's realizing you are the architect of your daily choices, the undisputed master of your routine. You decide what fills those 18 waking hours. You decide when and how you show up for your job. It's about taking ownership, about building your own ladder, as he advised on Tim Ferriss's podcast, rather than passively waiting for someone else to hand you one or provide the motivation. When you feel a sense of control over your actions, your commitment deepens and your habits become truly your own. Next, we have relatedness. This principle underscores the profound human need for positive connection and community. Arnold, despite his image as a self-made titan, adamantly rejects that very label. In his 2017 University of Houston commencement address, he declared, "Don't ever call me a self-made man." He credits countless individuals who lifted me up when I fell and gave him advice, acknowledging that to accept that credit or that mantle would discount every single person that has helped me. This recognition transforms your perspective, encouraging you to turn the me into we, understanding that your journey is interwoven with the support, encouragement, and upliftment of others. Positive relationships aren't just pleasant. They are powerful motivators and essential pillars for sustaining new behaviors, providing accountability and shared purpose. And finally, competency. This is the unwavering confidence that arises from consistently executing your chosen habits. It's the self-belief that grows with every rep, every successful meal, every early morning commitment. When you nail the fundamentals, can do them right and often, that accumulating sense of accomplishment fuels further effort. It's the powerful conviction he articulated in Total Recall, that if I can see it and believe it, then I can achieve it. Each small victory, each sustained effort, builds your internal muscle of capability, making it easier to tackle the next challenge, to embrace the grind, knowing you have the proven ability to get results. This growing sense of competence transforms effort from a chore into a rewarding confirmation of your power. So, when Arnold states in his USC commencement speech that success is not a lottery ticket, It's a grind. It's about showing up every single day, putting in the work. Even when it's hard, embrace the grind, push yourself beyond your comfort zone, and outwork everyone in the room. The harder you work, the luckier you get. He's not just talking about physical strength. He's speaking to the deliberate, structured construction of a life. He's inviting you to view your daily choices not as isolated events, but as essential building blocks. To embrace the reps, to respect recovery, and to consciously cultivate autonomy, relatedness, and competency in every habit you forge. This isn't just about transforming your body. It's about engineering your very existence, one intentional, powerful habit at a time, until you manifest the profound vision you hold for yourself. Chapter 9. The Zen of Gratitude. From Me to We. Arnold Schwarzenegger. For decades, the name alone was synonymous with singular ambition, relentless drive, and the very embodiment of the self-made man. He was the archetype of the individual who willed himself from a small Austrian village to conquer bodybuilding, Hollywood, and the state capitol. His story, on the surface, seemed to scream, "Look what I did, all by myself." But as the governor matured, as his reflections deepened through extraordinary triumphs and undeniable struggles, a more profound philosophy began to emerge, one that would dramatically reframe his understanding of success, self, and contribution. This is the arc of Arnold's journey from me to we, a profound evolution rooted in the Zen of gratitude. It's about recognizing that even the most monumental achievements are never truly solitary acts. It's a testament to the power of shifting focus from what you can take to what you can give . In a candid and powerful moment during his 2017 University of Houston commencement address, Arnold delivered a truth that resonated deeply, especially coming from him. He looked directly at the graduating class and declared with conviction, "Don't ever call me a self-made man." This wasn't a humble brag or a dismissal of his monumental effort. It was an unraveling of a deeply ingrained narrative, an unveiling of a more profound truth. He clarified, explaining that to accept that credit or that mantle would discount every single person that has helped me to get here today, that gave me advice, that gave me the time, that lifted me up when I fell. Think about the weight of that statement from someone so universally celebrated for his individual will. It's a radical reframing, urging us to look beyond the spotlighted individual and see the vast, intricate network of support that underpins every great journey. It acknowledges that success is not a solitary climb, but rather a collective ascent, facilitated by mentors, teachers, family, friends, colleagues, and even the anonymous well-wishes of strangers. This isn't just about acknowledging help. It's about understanding the very fabric of human achievement. When you realize that your wins are intrinsically linked to the efforts of others, your perspective fundamentally shifts. The intense, almost insular self-focus that fueled his early career gives way to a broader, more compassionate view of the world. And from this newfound clarity, a powerful sense of responsibility is born. As he passionately urged in that same Houston address, once this interconnectedness is understood, the call to action is clear. Make sure that it is not about me, that it is about we. Turn the me into we, and I guarantee you that you can change the world. This isn't just aspirational rhetoric. It's a blueprint for a life of greater purpose and impact. It's an invitation to elevate your vision beyond personal gain, to embrace a philosophy of enlightened self-interest, where true fulfillment is found in collective advancement. This realization isn't passive. It demands action. On Tim Ferriss's podcast, discussing his book, Be Useful, Arnold emphasized the direct consequence of this recognition. When you recognize that, you now have the responsibility of going out and helping others. This isn't charity as an afterthought, but contribution as an inherent obligation, a repayment of the countless favors, both seen and unseen, that paved your way. It is the understanding that the ladder you climbed was built by many hands, and now it is your turn to help others find their footing. He elaborates on this practical application of gratitude in Be Useful, 7 Tools for Life, where he challenges us to break your mirrors. This powerful metaphor speaks directly to our tendency towards self-obsession, our constant internal focus. Arnold is urging us to consciously shift our gaze outward, to stop scrutinizing our own reflections and instead to see the needs of others, to seek opportunities to make a meaningful impact in their lives. Imagine that the man who cultivated perhaps the most iconic physique in history, built on years of rigorous self-scrutiny in front of a mirror, now telling us to smash those mirrors of ego. It's a profound testament to his personal transformation. This isn't just about altruism. It's about a deeper, more sustainable path to personal satisfaction. Arnold understands that true fulfillment doesn't come from merely accumulating accomplishments or wealth, but from the act of contributing, of lifting others. As he shares in Be Useful, one thing you learn when you've lived long enough and worked hard enough to see your wildest dreams come true is that we're all connected. We're all in this thing called life together. As long as you make giving back part of the rules of the game, this isn't about some distant, abstract notion of community. It's about recognizing the palpable connections that weave through our lives, the tangible ways we rely on and influence one another. It transforms giving back from a virtuous act into a fundamental aspect of existence, an essential rule for navigating the game of life. It's a dynamic, ongoing process, not a one-time donation. And as he often reminds us, in his USC commencement address and in Be Useful, and as you move up and become successful, make sure also to be hungry for helping others. The hunger that once drove him to conquer new personal peaks now redirects itself outward, finding new nourishment in the act of service. For you, the listener, Arnold's evolution offers a vital lesson. Your journey, no matter how individual it feels, is a tapestry woven with countless threads of support and influence. When you embrace this truth, when you acknowledge the village behind your victories, you unlock a different kind of power. You tap into a boundless reservoir of purpose, a wellspring of joy that only true contribution can provide. It challenges the isolating myth of the lone wolf and invites you into the strength of the collective. So as you continue to forge your own path, as you strive for your goals, remember the Governator's ultimate lesson. The greatest strength, the most enduring legacy, isn't found in what you can achieve alone, but in the profound power of connection, the grace of gratitude, and the transformative joy of turning your me into we and lifting others as you rise. What world will you build, not just for yourself, but for the we that helped shape you? Chapter 10, Breaking Your Mirrors, the Path to Meaningful Impact. We've spoken about the transformative power of shifting from me to we, of recognizing the village that built your victories. Now, Arnold gives us the ultimate directive for that evolution, a stark, profound challenge that asks us to confront our own reflections. He tells us to break your mirrors. What does it truly mean to break your mirrors? It is an intentional dismantling of self-absorption, a recalibration of our gaze. It's the conscious act of tearing down the walls of ego that limit our vision, pushing us to look beyond our own needs, our own ambitions, and our own reflections, to the vast, complex tapestry of humanity around us. It's a directive to shift focus from merely observing ourselves to actively engaging with and serving the needs of others, recognizing that true purpose often lies outside the confines of the self. For a man who built an empire of muscle, charisma, and political power, you might expect a staunch belief in individualistic triumph. Yet Arnold staunchly rejects the notion. As he declared in his 2017 University of Houston commencement address, "Don't ever call me a self-made man." He clarified this powerful statement, explaining that to accept that credit or that mantle would discount every single person that has helped me to get here today, that gave me advice, that made an effort, that gave me the time, that lifted me up when I fell. It's a truth that hits differently from someone so universally seen as the epitome of self-will, reminding us that even the mightiest among us stand on the shoulders of giants. This recognition isn't just a nod to others. It's a profound awakening to a fundamental truth of human existence. We are not solo acts, and with this awakening comes a sacred duty. As Arnold stressed in an interview on Tim Ferriss's podcast discussing his book, Be Useful, when you recognize that, you now have the responsibility of going out and helping others. Your success, your strength, your opportunities, they are not solely yours. They are gifts bestowed by the collective, and they carry an inherent obligation to pay it forward. This isn't charity. It's reciprocity. It's the natural consequence of true gratitude. This is the heart of breaking your mirrors. It's about consciously shifting your perspective, your deepest motivations. It's about asking, who else needs my strength? What can I build for *us*? In that same University of Houston address, he challenged graduates, and by extension, all of us, make sure that it is not about me, that it is about we. Turn the me into we, and I guarantee you that you can change the world. Think about that. A simple pronoun shift, a complete paradigm overhaul, and the promise of world-changing impact. The true measure of a person, he posits, is not found in their personal acquisitions, but in their collective contributions. He understands that the deepest satisfaction doesn't come from merely accumulating personal triumphs. In his book, Be Useful, 7 Tools for Life, he writes, one thing you learn when you've lived long enough and worked hard enough to see your wildest dreams come true is that we're all connected. We're all in this thing called life together. As long as you make giving back part of the rules of the game. For Arnold, giving back isn't an optional extra. It's a fundamental rule for a life well lived, a testament to the fact that true achievement is always intertwined with contribution, with the shared human experience. The relentless drive that pushed him to be the best bodybuilder, the highest paid actor, the governor of California, that same internal hunger is now, in his later years, channeled towards uplifting others. It's why he says, as often cited in his speeches, and be useful. And as you move up and become successful, make sure also to be hungry for helping others. It's a continuous, evolving commitment, not a destination. It's a lifelong pursuit that constantly asks, how can I be of service? Breaking your mirrors isn't about diminishing your own value. It's about magnifying your purpose. It's about realizing that the fleeting glow of individual glory pales in comparison to the enduring warmth of collective uplift. When you redirect your focus from your own reflection to the needs in the world around you, you unlock a profound, almost spiritual satisfaction that personal ambition alone can never provide. You move beyond merely achieving goals to making an difference, a tangible, lasting impact that echoes far beyond your lifetime. This is the wellspring of a meaningful legacy, a life not just lived, but given asterisk. What would they do? Arnold Schwarzenegger would tell you that the greatest conquest isn't over an opponent or a challenge, but over the self. It's the victory of empathy over ego, of service over self-interest. It is the ultimate flex, using your hard-earned strength, your unique talents, not just for your own ascent, but to pull the whole world up with you. So, when you look into the mirror today, ask yourself, is your gaze fixed inward? Or are you ready to break that glass and see the world beyond the we that waits for your contribution? Chapter 11, The Pragmatic Defiance of Death, Living a Life Worth Remembering. You see, for Arnold Schwarzenegger, the journey of breaking mirrors and seeing the we isn't merely about collective uplift. It's about the very essence of how we choose to spend our finite time on this earth. It's about how we dance with the one certainty that no amount of ambition or iron can ever fully overcome death itself. Arnold's relationship with mortality is as unique and formidable as the man himself. He doesn't offer platitudes or comforting spiritual narratives. Instead, He faces it with a pragmatic defiance that is both disarming and deeply human. In his own words, a revelation that cuts through the veneer of the action hero. I have such a great time here that I hate the idea of death. I don't like to think about it. I don't even like to say the word. It's an admission of pure, unadulterated human aversion to the end of a good thing, a good life. He pushes it further, revealing, unfortunately, death is the one thing we can't overcome. And I have to say, that pisses me off. Think about that for a moment. Not fear, not resignation, but asterisk, pissed off asterisk. It's the ultimate challenge he can't lift, the final barrier he can't punch through. And in that frustration lies a profound insight. If this is the one fight you cannot win, then what is the only logical response? To make the living of life, the experiencing of this moment, so profoundly rich, so unapologetically meaningful, that the very idea of its conclusion feels like an injustice. For Arnold, traditional notions of an afterlife or a heavenly reunion hold little sway. He doesn't wait for a celestial paradise. He crafts his own here and now in the most powerful sanctuary available to him, his mind. He creates his heaven through cherished memories, a vibrant tapestry woven from the lives of those he has loved and those who have made a difference in his own journey. He describes a good feeling when you think of them, a profound internal validation that transcends physical presence. This isn't just a coping mechanism. It's a strategic approach to joy and legacy. If our only true eternity is the impact we make and the memories we leave in the hearts of others, then every action, every connection, every moment of gratitude becomes an act of building that personal heaven. You become the architect of your own immortality, not through defying death, but by ensuring that the life you live echoes far beyond your last breath. It's a perspective that pushes us beyond passive acceptance into active engagement. As Arnold believes, confronting death can help you live the type of life that will make you proud. This isn't a morbid obsession. It's a clarion call to action. It's an invitation to examine your choices, your priorities, and the way you allocate the most precious, non-renewable resource you possess, your time. When you truly internalize the finite nature of your existence, the trivial complaints fade. The excuses about not having enough time ring hollow. Arnold famously challenged this notion, reminding us, the day is 24 hours. 6 hours we sleep, so you have left 18 hours. So don't ever give me this thing, I'm working 12 hours, so I don't have time to exercise and to work out. Or, I don't have time to study another language, and all these kind of things. 18 hours. So utilize the 18 hours. That's what I've always believed in, and I feel like that's the only way you can get ahead. This isn't just about physical fitness or career advancement. It's a foundational philosophy for maximizing every moment, for squeezing the absolute most out of the brief gift of life. This drive, this relentless utilization of every hour, is fueled by an acute awareness that the clock is always ticking. As he asserts in his book, Be Useful, 7 Tools for Life, working your ass off is the only thing that works 100% of the time for 100% of the things worth achieving. It's a stark, uncompromising truth. If you want a life worth remembering, a life that fills your internal heaven with pride and joy, you must put in the work every single day. This isn't about chasing fleeting pleasures. It's about purpose. It's about asking yourself, as Arnold often implies, what is the point of being on this earth if you are going to be like everyone else? From his autobiography, Total Recall, his life is a testament to the pursuit of the extraordinary, driven by an insatiable hunger. For him, life is about continuously being hungry. The meaning of life is not simply to exist, to survive, but to move ahead, to go up, to achieve, to conquer. This isn't reckless ambition. It's an imperative born from the understanding that our time is limited, and therefore our impact must be limitless. So, what does this mean for you, the listener, standing at the crossroads of your own potential? It means shedding the illusion of infinite tomorrows. It means embracing the present with an urgency that transforms procrastination into action, indifference into passion. The future depends on what you do today, is a wisdom he often shares, a simple yet profound truth that resonates with the finite nature of existence. Every choice you make, every kindness you extend, every moment you truly connect, is a brick laid in the foundation of your own heaven. Arnold Schwarzenegger's pragmatic defiance of death isn't about avoiding the inevitable. It's about making the inevitable irrelevant in the face of a life so powerfully lived. It's about cultivating gratitude for the now, deepening connections with those around you, and building a legacy of pride that you can carry in your heart until your very last breath. It's about transforming the fear of an end into the fuel for an extraordinary beginning every single day. When you look at your life through this lens, you realize that the greatest victory isn't over death, but over the temptation to merely exist. It's the triumph of living so fully, so meaningfully, so unreservedly, that when the final curtain falls, you can truly say, with Arnold's characteristic lack of regret, that you had such a great time here. And that, in itself, is a heaven made real. Chapter 12. The Hunger for More. Continuously moving ahead. Welcome back to What Would They Do? We're diving deep into the mind of a man who redefined what it means to continuously move ahead. In Chapter 12, The Hunger for More, we explore the core of Arnold Schwarzenegger's philosophy, a relentless, insatiable drive that refuses to settle for anything less than perpetual growth. For Arnold, life isn't a passive journey. It's a dynamic conquest. He famously articulated this when he declared, "For me, life is about continuously being hungry. The meaning of life is not simply to exist, to survive, but to move ahead, to go up, to achieve, to conquer." This isn't just about ambition. It's a philosophical imperative, a blueprint for a life lived without compromise. It asks us unequivocally, what is the point of being on this earth if you are going to be like everyone else? This isn't a call to simply do more, but to be more. It's an invitation to reject the comfort of the status quo, to view every achievement not as an end, but as a new starting line. Think about it. How many times have you felt the pull of contentment, the siren song of good enough? Arnold's life is a living testament to the dangers of that complacency. From the gym floor to the governor's mansion, he consistently pushed beyond the boundaries of what others considered possible. He once reflected on his bodybuilding days, sharing in his book Arnold, The Education of a Bodybuilder, how he taught himself the strictest kind of discipline. I could apply that discipline to everyday life. It was this same mental fortitude that allowed him to plunge into studying when he'd rather not, remembering what it took to be Mr. Universe. This hunger, this relentless pursuit, demands a profound respect for time. Arnold's perspective on the clock is famously unforgiving, as he's often repeated in interviews, including his USC commencement address. The day is 24 hours. 6 hours we sleep, so you have left 18 hours. So don't ever give me this thing, I'm working 12 hours, so I don't have time to exercise and to work out. Or I don't have time to study another language, and all these kind of things. 18 hours. So utilize the 18 hours. That's what I've always believed in. And I feel like that's the only way you can get ahead. It's a stark challenge to our excuses, isn't it? He's not just talking about physical exercise. He's talking about intellectual and personal expansion, the continuous act of becoming. He's telling you that the time exists if you're hungry enough to seize it. And this seizing of time, this embracing of the grind, is non-negotiable. As he makes clear in his book, Be Useful, 7 Tools for Life. Working your ass off is the only thing that works 100% of the time for 100% of the things worth achieving. There are no shortcuts, no magic bullet. He emphasized this in Total Recall, my unbelievably true life story, stating unequivocally, there are no shortcuts, everything is reps, 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 reps. This applies not just to lifting weights, but to mastering any skill, overcoming any obstacle, or achieving any vision. It means embracing what might seem like the boring stuff, nailing the fundamentals, doing them right, and doing them often, as he articulated in Be Useful. The path to more is rarely smooth. Failure, for most, is a deterrent, a sign to retreat. But for Arnold, failure is simply information. In his USC commencement address, he urged, "Don't be afraid to fail. Anything that I've ever attempted, I was always willing to fail. You can't always win, but don't be afraid of making decisions." He sees it not as the opposite of success, but as a stepping stone. This isn't just motivational fluff. It's a deep conviction born from a life of audacious leaps. He elaborates in various speeches, stating, "What is not okay is that when you fail you stay down. Whoever stays down is a loser. And winners will fail and get up, fail, and get up, fail, and get up. You always get up. That is a winner. That is a winner." This resilience, this refusal to stay down, is the true mark of someone continuously moving ahead. It is through the struggle, he wrote in Be Useful, that success tastes so sweet. And it is through comfort no one ever grows. A crucial insight he shared on Tim Ferriss's podcast. This hunger for more, however, isn't solely about personal glory. As Arnold's journey evolved, so too did his understanding of true fulfillment. He challenges us, as we move up and become successful, to make sure we are also to be hungry for helping others. This sentiment is echoed across his later works and speeches, including his USC commencement address and Be Useful. He firmly rejects the notion of the self-made man, acknowledging the countless individuals who lifted him up, and with that recognition comes the profound responsibility of paying it forward. He challenges us to break your mirrors, to stop focusing solely on ourselves and instead focus on others' needs, making a meaningful impact. So, what does Arnold's hunger for more mean for you? It means understanding that your greatest victories lie just beyond your current limits. It means every morning is an opportunity to outwork everyone in the room, to push past your comfort zone, to embrace the grind, as he encouraged in his USC commencement speech. It means having the clarity of vision, as outlined in Be Useful, to see what you want to achieve before you do it, not as you do it. It means building your own ladder, not waiting for permission, a lesson he shared on Tim Ferriss's podcast. Ultimately, Arnold Schwarzenegger's philosophy of continuous hunger isn't about chasing fleeting highs. It's about constructing a life of profound purpose and impact, one relentless step at a time. It's about leveraging every one of those 18 waking hours, facing every failure as a teacher, and using your ascent not just for yourself, but to lift others. It's about rejecting the ordinary, defying stagnation, and understanding that the future truly does depend on what you do today. This isn't just about achieving. It's about becoming. And in that becoming, you discover the limitless potential within yourself to perpetually move ahead. Chapter 13. The Power of Positive Framing. Joy over Jealousy. For most, Arnold Schwarzenegger is the titan of physical strength, the unyielding action hero, the audacious politician. But beneath the layers of muscle and charisma lies an intellectual force, a profound philosopher who understood that true power originates not in the biceps, but between the ears. He cultivated a mental resilience, an emotional dexterity that is often overlooked. It's a principle that empowers us to transcend mere circumstance and actively shape our inner world, no matter the external chaos. Arnold understood that while we cannot always control what happens asterisk to asterisk us, we absolutely control how we react. He championed a conscious, deliberate choice in our emotional landscape, guiding us away from destructive impulses and towards empowering ones. He articulated this beautifully in his book, Be Useful, when he stated, "If you can choose joy over jealousy, happiness over hate, love over resentment, positivity over negativity, then you have the tools to make the best of any situation, even one that feels like failure." Think about the profound implications of that statement. It's an invitation to an internal alchemy, transforming base emotions into gold. When you're faced with a setback, a career misstep, a personal disappointment, or even seeing a peer achieve a goal you coveted, the default human reaction can be bitterness, envy, or self-pity. Arnold teaches us that this is a moment of choice. Do you succumb to the corrosive pull of jealousy, or do you actively seek joy in your own journey, in the lessons learned, or even in the success of others, as a reflection of what's possible? This isn't about naive optimism. It's about strategic mental control. It's about understanding, as he often reminded us, that the mind always fails first, not the body. The secret, then, is to make your mind work for you, not against you. This mental discipline, this rigorous training of your thoughts, is just as crucial as any physical regimen. When you actively choose happiness over hate, you are not denying the reality of your challenges. You are simply refusing to let them dictate your emotional state or paralyze your will to act. Consider the inevitable presence of failure in any ambitious life. Many retreat, defeated, their spirits crushed by what they perceive as an insurmountable obstacle. But for Arnold, failure was never an end, only a data point. In his impactful USC commencement speech, he urged listeners to, "Don't be afraid to fail. Anything that I've ever attempted, I was always willing to fail. You can't always win, but don't be afraid of making decisions." He reframed failure, not as the opposite of success, but as a crucial stepping stone. This positive framing is not passive. It demands action. It means that when you stumble, as he articulated in various motivational speeches, what is not okay is that when you fail, you stay down. Whoever stays down is a loser. And winners will fail and get up, fail and get up, fail and get up. You always get up. That is a winner. Choosing positivity doesn't erase the hurt of falling, but it ignites the resolve to rise. It leverages the pain not for self-pity, but for growth. He knew that, just like in bodybuilding, failure is also a necessary experience for growth in our own lives. For if we're never tested to our limits, how will we know how strong we really are? How will we ever grow? This perspective transforms adversity into a personal strength training session. It empowers you to learn from the past, rather than being shackled by it. As he penned in his autobiography, Total Recall, "The past can hurt, but the way I see it, you can either run from it or learn from it. By choosing positivity, you choose to learn, to extract wisdom, to refine your approach. You cultivate a mindset where, instead of complaining about a situation, you are prepared to do something about it, a principle he underscored in Be Useful. This is the essence of true resilience. Not the absence of struggle, but the conscious decision to frame struggle as essential for growth, to choose joy in the effort, and to always get back up. It is the understanding that it's the struggle that makes success. When you achieve it, tastes so sweet. Another profound insight from Be Useful. When you embrace this principle, you stop being a victim of circumstance and become the architect of your emotional destiny. You gain an unparalleled internal power, the ability to make the best of any situation. You learn that discomfort leads to growth, as he highlighted on Tim Ferriss's podcast, stating, "Through comfort, no one ever grows." So the next time you face a challenge, a perceived failure, or a moment of envy, remember Arnold's profound wisdom. Make the conscious choice. Choose joy. Choose happiness. Choose love. Choose positivity. And watch as you transform not just the situation, but yourself. This is how you forge an unshakable spirit. Chapter 14. The architect of your own ladder, building your future today. You've cultivated an unshakable spirit, a powerful inner resilience forged in the fires of conscious choice. Now, it's time to wield that power to become the true architect of your destiny, the master builder of your own tomorrow. This isn't about passive hope. It's about active creation. It's about accepting that the blueprint for your future is in your hands and yours alone. Arnold Schwarzenegger, A man who consistently defied every expectation placed upon him understood this truth on a cellular level. He didn't wait for an invitation to greatness, nor did he expect a golden escalator to appear. Instead, as he shared candidly on Tim Ferriss's podcast, he declared, "Build your own ladder. Just don't wait for anyone else." That's what I did. This isn't just a catchy phrase. It's the bedrock of a life lived with intentionality. It's the realization that while others may offer a hand, the climb itself, the construction of your path, is your non-negotiable responsibility. Where does one even begin to build such a ladder? Arnold's wisdom points to an undeniable starting point: vision. He profoundly states in his book, Be Useful, 7 Tools for Life, that everything good, all great change, starts with a clear vision. It's not enough to simply wish for something. You must vividly, meticulously see it. As he also illuminates in Be Useful, you have to be able to see what you want to achieve before you do it, not as you do it. That's the difference. This isn't abstract philosophy for Arnold. It's a practical tool. He recalls in Total Recall, my unbelievably true life story, that fundamental belief: if I can see it and believe it, then I can achieve it. Your ladder doesn't get built by accident. It gets built by a vision so clear, so compelling, that it pulls you forward. And the choice to commit to that vision? That, my friend, is where true agency lies. As Arnold emphasizes in Be Useful, the only difference between them and us, between me and you, between any two people, is the clarity of the picture we have for our future, the strength of our plan to get there, and whether or not we have accepted that the choice to make that vision a reality is ours and ours alone. This isn't a burden. It's an exhilarating liberation. It means no one can stop you but yourself. Once the vision is crystal clear, the building begins. And building requires time, effort, and an unwavering commitment to action. Arnold has a legendary disdain for excuses. In his iconic USC commencement address, he famously dismantled the myth of no time, asserting, "The day is 24 hours. 6 hours we sleep, so you have left 18 hours. So don't ever give me this thing, I'm working 12 hours, so I don't have time to exercise and to work out. Or, I don't have time to study another language, and all these kind of things. 18 hours. So utilize the 18 hours. That's what I've always believed in. And I feel like that's the only way you can get ahead." His message is sharp, unapologetic. If you don't find the time, if you don't do the work, you don't get the results. This isn't about waiting for inspiration. It's about showing up. It's about understanding, as he lays out in Be Useful, that working your ass off is the only thing that works 100% of the time for 100% of the things worth achieving. There are no secret formulas, no magic pills. As he states in Total Recall, there are no shortcuts. Everything is reps, reps, reps. This means embracing the mundane, the foundational elements. It means, as he advocates in Be Useful, that we have to embrace the boring stuff. We have to nail the fundamentals. We have to do them right, and we have to do them often. Your ladder isn't built with grand gestures alone, but with consistent, painstaking, often unglamorous individual steps. And remember, the biggest battle isn't with external forces, but within. As he reminds us, the mind always fails first, not the body. The secret is to make your mind work for you, not against you. Don't let your mind be the saboteur of your construction project. Instead of complaining about the difficulty of the task, heed his counsel from Be Useful. Don't complain about a situation unless you're prepared to do something about it. This philosophy isn't just about personal gain. It's about answering a deeper call. What is the point, as he asks in Total Recall, of being on this earth if you are going to be like everyone else? For Arnold, life is about continuously being hungry, not simply to exist, to survive, but to move ahead, to go up, to achieve, to conquer. Ultimately, this profound journey of self-creation comes down to relentless effort, day after day. As he declared in that transformative USC commencement speech, success is not a lottery ticket, it's a grind. It's about showing up every single day, putting in the work. Even when it's hard, embrace the grind, push yourself beyond your comfort zone, and outwork everyone in the room. The harder you work, the luckier you get. So, look around you. Don't wait for permission. Don't wait for someone else to hand you the tools. Start building. Start climbing. Because, as Arnold Schwarzenegger unequivocally reminds us, a truth as potent as any you will ever encounter. The future depends on what you do today. Chapter 15. What would Arnold do? Applying the 7 tools for life. You've heard the call, the deep, resonant challenge to break free from the ordinary, to forge a path that defies expectation. You understand now that, as Arnold asks in Total Recall, what is the point of being on this earth if you are going to be like everyone else? And you've absorbed the truth of the grind, the relentless, daily effort that defines a life of purpose. But how, you ask, do we harness such a future? How do we translate that hunger into the concrete steps that build an extraordinary life? Arnold Schwarzenegger, the man who bent reality to his will, offers not just inspiration, but a meticulously crafted toolkit, honed over decades of monumental ambition and unwavering resolve. These aren't abstract theories. These are the practical, sweat-soaked principles he deployed to become a champion bodybuilder, a Hollywood legend, and a governor. These are your 7 tools for life. First, you must have a vision. Not a vague wish, but a crystal-clear image etched in your mind, so vivid you can almost touch it. As he states unequivocally in Be Useful, 7 tools for life. Everything good, all great change, starts with a clear vision. This isn't about dreaming asterisk as asterisk you act, but seeing it asterisk before asterisk you even begin. He explains, you have to be able to see what you want to achieve before you do it, not as you do it. That's the difference. It's about creating that blueprint in your mind, believing it, and knowing that, as he often repeated, if I can see it and believe it, then I can achieve it. The clarity of that picture, the strength of your plan, and the acceptance that the choice to make it real is yours, and yours alone. That's where it all begins. With that vision firmly in place, you need the engine to drive it. Relentless discipline and effort. There's no secret formula, no magic pill. In Be Useful, 7 Tools for Life, Arnold delivers the blunt truth. Working your ass off is the only thing that works 100% of the time for 100% of the things worth achieving. And for those who claim they simply don't have time, he offers a powerful rebuttal, frequently repeated in speeches like his USC commencement address. The day is 24 hours. 6 hours we sleep, so you have left 18 hours. So don't ever give me this thing, I'm working 12 hours, so I don't have time to exercise and to work out. Or, I don't have time to study another language, and all these kind of things. 18 hours. So utilize the 18 hours. That's what I've always believed in. And I feel like that's the only way you can get ahead. Stop making excuses. Make the time. Embrace the mundane, the foundational work. As he encourages in Be Useful, we have to embrace the boring stuff. We have to nail the fundamentals. We have to do them right, and we have to do them often. In his autobiography, Total Recall, he distills it perfectly. There are no shortcuts. Everything is reps, reps. He himself applied this discipline to everything, writing in Arnold, The Education of a Bodybuilder, about how he taught myself discipline, the strictest kind. I could apply that discipline to everyday life. This isn't about natural talent. It's about showing up. But what happens when, despite your vision and effort, you stumble? This is where resilience becomes your indispensable tool. Don't be afraid to fail, he advised in his USC commencement address. Anything that I've ever attempted, I was always willing to fail. You can't always win, but don't be afraid of making decisions. Failure isn't an end. It's a course correction, a crucial stepping stone. As he often says, Failure is not the opposite of success. It's a stepping stone. The real failure isn't falling, it's staying down. He hammers this home in his motivational speeches. What is not okay is that when you fail, you stay down. Whoever stays down is a loser. And winners will fail and get up, fail, and get up, fail, and get up. You always get up. That is a winner. That is in this struggle. In the grit of getting back up, that success becomes meaningful. It's the struggle that makes success, when you achieve it, taste so sweet. He writes in Be Useful. And for Arnold, there's simply no alternative. I don't compromise. There is no plan B. Plan B is to succeed at plan A. Your mind, not your body, will quit first, he reminds us. You must make your mind work for you. Beyond personal achievement, Arnold learned that true fulfillment transcends the self. This is the tool of gratitude and service. Reflecting on his journey, he told the University of Houston commencement graduates, "Don't ever call me a self-made man." Why? Because, he explained, to accept that credit or that mantle would discount every single person that has helped me to get here today, that gave me advice, that made an effort, that gave me the time, that lifted me up when I fell. Once you recognize this interconnectedness, you have a profound responsibility. As he shared on Tim Ferriss's podcast, when you recognize that, you now have the responsibility of going out and helping others. It's about shifting your focus from me to we. Make sure that it is not about me, that it is about we. Turn the anti-we, and I guarantee you that you can change the world, he urged the University of Houston graduates. In Be Useful, he encourages us to break your mirrors, to stop obsessing over ourselves and instead look outwards to others' needs. Because, as he concludes in the same book, as long as you make giving back part of the rules of the game, your life will have true meaning. These aren't just Arnold's rules. They are universal truths, sharpened by a life lived without limits. They are your tools to build your own future, brick by painstaking brick. So don't wait for permission. Don't wait for an invitation. As he advises on Tim Ferriss's podcast, build your own ladder. Just don't wait for anyone else. That's what I did. Take these tools, your clear vision, your unwavering discipline, your fierce resilience, your commitment to maximize every hour, and your profound dedication to serving others, and start building. Because, as Arnold Schwarzenegger unequivocally reminds us, a truth as potent as any you will ever encounter. The future depends on what you do today. And what you do today starts now.